Coming up on this week's show, we talk about John Bishop doing his own stunts on Doctor Who, lots of news on the BBC Centenary updates, Mandip Gill on the growing tension between Yaz and the Doctor, and has Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS been dismantled already, as well as John Simm talk about returning for Doctor Who's 60th anniversary special.
I'm the Doctor. I'm a Time Lord. I'm from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Casterbarus.
I hope the ears are a bit less conspicuous this time.
You might be a doctor, but I am.
I'm a doctor, but probably not the one you expect.
Absolutely fantastic.
All of time and space, everything that ever happened or ever will. Where do you want to start?
Hello everybody and welcome back to Bigger on the Inside, the new Who Doctor Who watch-along podcast. I am Harry, joined as always by Tim. How are you doing, Tim?
I'm very well, thank you, Harry. How the flipping heck are you?
I'm very good, Tim. Did I not just say that?
I'm good. I wasn't listening.
Oh.
Good week?
It's a very good week. It was a very good week for our channel, as a matter of fact. We've hit quite a few milestones this week. First off, we've hit our 100,000 total channel view count.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah. Perhaps even more excitingly, we have hit 700 subscribers.
So excited, my hat just flew straight off my head.
What? Oh, I was about to knock Tim's hat off his head, but he didn't let me.
I've got wet hair.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had a shower before I gave a picture up.
Right, okay. Well, at least you're fresh.
I am fresh.
Yeah. I don't know why I smell him.
Do I smell fresh?
I didn't actually.
I was in Wetherspoons last night and I saw my friend Sam and his friend who also looks a bit like him, means nothing to anybody, but I was stood next to him and apologies for the bad language, children, but he went, "Oh man, you smell fucking awesome." He's not even American.
Well, that's very nice of him.
He was like, "You're going to get loads of girls with that smell, you got to tell me what it is." Like, just Calvin Klein.
Oh.
I don't think I was wearing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, it's
like natural
imprinted
odor,
on you.
yeah.
That's your musk.
Yeah.
Your natural musk.
My natural Elon Musk.
Ooh. I don't want a natural Elon Musk.
No.
So yeah, 700 subscribers. That's pretty exciting.
Our most viewed video of all time.
That's right. We've got a new most viewed video of all time. All thanks to Peter Capaldi.
Yep. Fun time. The first time we've ever put him in a thumbnail as well.
I think this is just our very first Capaldi video.
Yeah.
Does that mean we should make more Capaldi videos?
Nah.
No?
He doesn't do much.
Well, he's just had an album out.
Yeah. But I mean, like...
And every other week he says he's not going to come back to Doctor Who. Like,
oh, there we go, though. So, yeah, look forward to that on the channel.
Yeah, we're going to milk that for what's worth. But yeah, that hit 10,000 views, which is our first video to do that, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And that also makes it, like, a tenth of our channel views comes from that Capaldi video.
It's kind of sad.
It's
we've got loads of videos as well. Yeah. Oh, well.
Well, thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
And also, I'm just going to say, if you're hoping we're going to talk about Peter Capaldi's album, if this was a week where Doctor Who Flux wasn't currently on TV, we probably would be.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to it, and, I mean, it is what it is, but neither of us really have that much understanding of neither of us are musical.
Yeah. I remember when it first came out, I was like, should we do is Peter Capaldi's album actually about Doctor Who? But it probably isn't.
There isn't. There's maybe one song
It's
where you
called
could force
Immortal
it.
Youth.
No, not that one. It's
No?
called like the Impossible or the I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, it's called Impossible Youth, isn't it?
No, it's not that song.
Not that one?
No, there's another one.
Is it a St. Christopher one?
No, let me see if I can find it. It's going to bug me. But there's one song on the album where you sort of think, oh, maybe that one.
It's like the lyrical content, does that imply something Doctor Who-ish?
If you really forced it, it's called The Great Magnificence.
Okay.
So if you really wanted, you could force it, but not really.
No, we don't force things out of our videos.
Should we? What's the first thing we're going to talk about, Harry?
Well, like I said, the newest instalment of Doctor Who Flux came out this week. Chapter 4, The Village of the Angels.
Did you watch it live?
I did not. I watched it later that evening.
What time?
About, I don't know, maybe about
Was
11.
it before or after Oh, so quite late.
Yeah, it was quite late in the evening, yeah. Right just before I went to bed, it was the last thing I watched.
Was you all spooked out when you had to go to sleep?
Yeah, I had heebie-jeebie nightmares.
I don't find the Weeping Angels that scary.
I found the Weeping Angels really scary in Blink. I think, like, the more we saw of them, like, I think I'll talk about this when we get to talking about Series 5 in our watch-along, but I feel like a lot was lost for me when we saw the angels move.
Yeah, possibly. I know what you mean, yeah.
I feel like just the implied movement is a lot scarier than actually seeing them move.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So what did you think of Village of the Angels?
I thought it was really, really gosh darn good.
Okay.
I feel like you didn't.
I enjoyed parts of it, but I also felt some of it, it wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be.
Okay.
I think because it gave off such strong family blood, human nature vibes.
It didn't for me. It didn't.
But no,
for
the
me.
aesthetic of it and the way it looks.
Other than the fact it was in a village, I really didn't get that vibe.
I don't know.
I feel like when you maybe setting yourself up for a story reminiscent of that rather than what it was.
Yeah.
Because for me, the story had no resemblance at all.
No, I'm not saying the story did, but I mean just like the way the trailer was shown and everything like that. It sort of gave me like we're going to be visiting that sort of tone again. Because I found that episode to be more, I'm doing quotation marks, scary,
right, than
previous Doctor Who episodes. I know I said it last week. I don't like the thing of angels in TV screens can come out of TV screens.
You don't like the image of an angel thing.
No, well, I like the idea that a drawing. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and
like,
I thought the way they
thing
interacted with it as well, like crumpling it up and burning it.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah.
I liked that. But like the whole thing of the professor having to stare at a TV screen because the angel might come out the TV screen, but at least turn it off.
Well, because the thing is, like, the reason they had the TV screen was because that was the way that they could keep a watch on the angels and stop the real angels from moving without having to.
But then you run the
close
risk
to them.
of making two angels.
Well, that's the thing. That's the risk they run.
What happens? Whenever I watch an Angels episode, I always end up asking the same questions, which is, if you were to put an angel in front of a webcam facing itself, so it could see itself on a laptop screen, would it move,
or would it create two angels?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Because if an angel looks at itself, like in Blink,
like
when they all stand in the circle.
Yeah. If an angel sees its reflection,
yeah,
does that stop it from moving?
Yeah.
Or does it create a second angel?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, I always wonder that.
Yeah, why has no one ever held just got a mirror and put it in front of an angel?
Yeah, that's what I always think, yeah. And it was the same when, what else happened in this episode? Where there's two old people, they go up to move the angel.
Oh yeah, and they touch it and it sends them back.
But then Yaz and the Professor, they put those things on top of the angels' heads. Like there's like the mind reading device, not the mind reading device, it's like the brain scanners that the Professor had. Oh yeah. And I was sort of like, oh, that's a bit risky. They just kind of just plonked it on his head and there wasn't much. Be careful. They like just put it on the angel's head. They just did it, and I was sort of like, because we'd already seen someone get so close and be sent back in time. Yeah. I sort of thought, bit odd.
So do you just feel like the angels have exhausted themselves and that we don't really need Weeping Angels?
No, because I really like the Weeping Angels, and parts of this episode were really good, like when they were coming out the walls in the tunnel.
Yeah, I loved that.
That was great.
Yeah. And also the rogue angel, I thought was a really cool concept.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that they're speaking through humans.
Okay, because that is a new addition to this episode, I think.
I like the fact that in the past we spoke about what a Weeping Angel's catchphrase would be, and in this episode they kind of speak.
Yeah.
I don't know, I felt it was quite similar to when the Daleks took over that woman in the first Jodie Whittaker Dalek episode.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of felt, this is just because I do bits of writing, is I felt it was a bit of an easy way to explain the story by having the actual monster tell you what it was going to do.
Yeah.
Or why it was there, rather than having the characters work it out, which is more rewarding as an audience because you work it out with them. Instead of
they'd already worked out that Claire had an image of an angel within her.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like the whole thing of when they're stood on the beach and the angel's there and it's stood behind Claire and it's projecting its voice through Claire and stuff like that, and it sort of reveals what's going on. But I guess you also sort of need that because the Doctor can't work that out because she doesn't know that part of her past.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apart from that, I really liked.
Okay. Apart from this big list of things I didn't like, I thought it was great.
Yeah, but I did like it, and there was aspects of it I really liked. I like the fact that Yaz and Dan get like their little mini adventure, and that isn't resolved by the end of the episode. And obviously the whole end of the episode.
Yeah, this is probably like the biggest cliffhanger I can think the show has done since maybe the Pandorica opening.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Doctor gets turned into a weeping angel.
Yeah, like that, and that was such
Cool
a
effect.
a freaky sequence.
Yeah.
Like seeing our hero just get turned into a freaking angel.
I'm gonna say it. I think they stole that idea from me.
When did you think of that idea?
Maybe 3 years ago, when I sent off some very bad graphic design work to Big Finish,
Of the Doctor as an angel?
in hopes of getting some sort of Photoshop gig where I can design their covers.
Okay.
And it
So
was
you think
the
someone at Big Finish gave that to the BBC?
and it was the
and to
seventh
Chip and
Doctor,
Hall?
and he was slowly turning into stone in the picture, with Ace in the background and a weeping angel holding onto his shoulder. So there you go. Makes you think, doesn't it?
No. I feel like...
Do you think this is going to link into the weeping angels possibly being Time Lords?
Maybe, because that's something we've kind of brought up before.
We talked about it last week.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing of... There's definitely a link between the Weeping Angels and the Time Lords that's not been explicitly explained yet. Especially the whole thing now that the Angels are kind of key players in the division.
Yeah.
Which, as far as I understand, is something the Time Lords created.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting slightly confused towards the end, but it's slowly clicking away,
Yeah.
making sense.
I feel like it's something like in the final episode we'll get the full explanation of this is the division, this is what the Doctor was a part of, this is everything it is.
Yeah.
Because it's also weird to think that in addition to the Angels that are what's the dog guy called again?
Carvanista.
Yeah, like Carvanista was also a part of this division.
Yeah.
You know?
No Carvanista this episode.
No Carvanista. He's in next week's episode.
Yeah.
We like Carvanista.
Anything else you enjoyed about this episode?
I thought there was like really cool stuff. I think visually the stuff with like the village being trapped out of time,
I
by
like that.
space is a really
There's
cool
that really
visual.
cool thing where you see it eroded and you just see like the welcome to sign just like fall off the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, that's cool.
And I think, like you said, there's some really cool sequences involving the Angels, like them going through the tunnels and stuff like that. I think, again, I feel like this series continues to give Jodie some of her best acting opportunities.
Yeah.
I didn't say it last week, but I feel like one of the highlights in there was right after she came out of the time storm. She's like, no, I have to go back, I have to find out more. And her having, and that continues here, that she has that drive and that very clear motive to find out the answers to her past, and that's what compels her to move forward and do
definitely.
what she does.
Yeah.
And seeing that, and then that also conflicting with her desire to, you know, as the Doctor, to protect people. Like at the end, she's willing to give up the rogue angel to Claire, to the angels to protect Claire, but then they're like, nah, we want you, Doctor.
Should we talk about next week?
Yes.
Do we have an episode title?
It's called Is it called Survivors of the Flux?
Yeah, I think you have a synopsis.
No, you've only given me the one for week 6.
Oh, really?
Because we already had the title for week 5.
Oh, well, go back and find out what it was. But it looks like we're getting a return to Unit.
Yeah.
With Kate Stewart making a return, Carvanista returning, the guy from Toast of London, he's there as well, who's also in Cold Feet.
Who's that?
He was the older gentleman in the Unit outfit.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember his name. The name escapes me. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited that. I mean,
this episode is going to be. I'm guessing this is technically a Doctor Light episode, isn't it?
I suppose it will be. Yeah, I don't know. I have to find out. The Doctor wasn't in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yaz and Dan are in the past.
Yeah, and it says they've been there for 3 years.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah, well, I think Dan says that they've been stuck in that village for 3 years.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I think they're possibly gonna start leaving clues so that people in years to come will be able to tell the Doctor and she'll be able to go back and save them. But how are they gonna do that?
Yeah.
The Doctor's turned to stone.
I feel like
You were gone, I turned to stone.
I feel like the key to whatever happens is probably gonna lie in Vinder and Bell. Honestly,
think?
Yeah, I think so, because like they're the only two that I can see being able to get everyone out of this situation.
One thing
now.
I will say is I feel by now I was hoping for those stories to come together more.
Okay.
I feel like Bell's story in this did feel very tagged on.
I mean, I've heard some people speculate that kind of the stuff in the village was written by Maxine Allerton, and then the Vinder and Bell stuff was Chibnall.
Oh yeah, because this is the first two.
This is the only episode in Flux to have a co-writing credit and to have anyone writing who isn't Chris Chibnall.
I'll tell you what I will say as well about this episode. It's the same director as last week, but massive improvement.
Do you think this is much...
Yeah, I really like the way this episode was directed. Really well done. There's that scene with the Weeping Angel where it grabs that guy's coat. That was really cool.
When the way the angels were shot here, I don't know, there was definitely... I felt it in chapter 1 as well, that the way that the angels are shot, there's a certain tension and speed to them that you never got in the same way in the Moffat era. It's not better or worse, it's just very different to how Moffat treated the angels.
Yeah, and there was no Swarm, he wasn't there. Mr. Swarm.
Ah, yes, but we did get...
Mrs. Swarm.
What was her name?
I can't remember.
One of the other Ravager.
Yeah, Mrs. Swarm.
With Passenger.
Oh yeah, he was back, yeah. We'll save that, we won't talk about that just yet.
You're really my lover and nowhere to go.
Ah, very
I
good.
want no stars of snow. I can't actually remember I just remember there was a band called Passenger.
There was, yeah. Anything else from this week's episode that we haven't spoken about that we should speak about? I don't know where this is going to go.
No, I have no idea where this is going to go, and we have 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
How's the hour running time working for you?
I feel like it's working a lot better than it was working in Series 11 and Series 12.
Well,
I feel like...
5 minutes.
Were they?
Yeah.
I thought they were hour longs.
No.
Okay. But I don't know, just something... I feel like there's enough stuff going on in in Flux to justify this hour runtime. It never feels like it's struggling to fill that time.
And there's been... I know every episode has been to be continued almost.
Yeah.
But there's been no two-parters.
Yeah.
Which I've enjoyed, and I've always said in the past that I feel most two-parters could be resolved by an hour's running time.
Yeah, and I feel like this, even with this final 2 parts, which are about very much the Flux as a central focus, I feel like, I feel like there's going to be distinction of Chapter 5 will be no Doctor. I imagine that the Doctor will be back for Chapter 6.
All the Doctors.
All the Doctors.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them?
Yeah.
You think they'll all come back? I mean, to be fair with this
Do you think it'll end with everybody standing outside applauding?
Applauding who?
The Doctors.
Why?
Because they're heroes. So it'll be like symbolic of everything we went through last year.
I don't think they're going to use the character of the Doctor as a symbol for the doctors and the NHS and all that. No.
You heard it here first, everybody. Harry was against Clap for Heroes.
No.
What was that one they tried to do afterwards?
Which Clap for Carers?
That one didn't really take off, did it?
I feel like, it'd be nicer if instead of making us clap for these people, the government actually put in some financial support for them.
Yeah. Anything else?
So now we have some actual new stuff. Oh, the live subscriber count.
Shall I have a look?
Yes.
What's your predictions? What do you think we're on?
I think we're at
25?
I think 27. 727.
Sorry.
I think we're at 727 subscribers.
That was me reading my notifications. We're at 736.
Whoa! Okay.
Okay, let's see. So we always try and set a ballpark figure to try and aim for next week.
And we always massively exceed it.
And I like that, and I don't want to shoot too high. I'm going to say 755.
755?
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to round it up to 760?
No, 755.
But that means we have to get less than...
Okay, let's say 760.
Yeah, 760. We can hit 760, no
When
problem.
we don't hit it...
We're going to hit
There's 1 week we
760
won't
this
hit
week,
it.
Tim.
1 week we won't.
Yeah, and that's when we'll have to, check ourselves.
Oh, before you wreck yourself.
Exactly. And also, you've put in all caps, vote for us. Is that vote still open, Tim?
No, it closed yesterday.
Oh, so never mind.
But thank you for everybody who did vote. I know people did vote because they left comments saying they had voted. Should I check up on that? I think they're counting the votes today.
Okay.
These are just for the nominees to see if you can be nominated.
Okay. Do you think we could be nominated?
I doubt it.
Do we have to do anything if we're nominated?
They then do another vote.
There's another vote for the shortlist.
Yeah.
Well, if we're shortlisted, then whoo boy.
So that was the vote to see if you would be on the shortlist, and then once you're on the shortlist, the next vote is to win.
It'd be very nice to say, be on inside the award-winning podcast.
I'd like an actual award.
I mean, it is an actual award.
No, I want like a physical thing.
We have to go to like we should have like a Whovian like event like the Whovies, and you get a little golden TARDIS.
No, it would be gold. It would be silver, glass.
A glass TARDIS.
Glass TARDIS.
Or maybe like a little like screwdriver figurine.
Which screwdriver?
Oh well, that's the thing. There'd be so much contention. There'd be Pertwee ones for Classic Who content, and there'd be Tenant ones for New Who content.
Okie pokey.
Yeah.
Should we do some news?
Yes, the news. John Bishop is a loose cannon.
Whoa! It's been a bit news-light this week. Not a lot of heavy news.
I feel like I don't want to give too much away about the Flux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed that since Flux has come out, there's been, apart from last week, there's been less speculation news and rumours. It's been a lot of talking about what's already on the telly.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You don't need news to kind of substantiate our minds.
Go on.
No, so anyway, this is mainly an interview with the stunt coordinator, Crispin Layfield, who's worked on Doctor Who's stunt team since the Sci-Fi was rebooted in 2005. Talking about working with Jodie and John. Apparently John is very physical. He loves it. He runs around all over the place. He's climbing up cranes and all sorts, throwing himself on the ground. He was very good. There's a bit more. He's joked that John could have been a frustrated stuntman, saying he was involved in a lot of wires and we did a few bits where he had to fall through the ceiling and onto the floor.
Have we had that in the series yet?
I don't think we've seen that yet.
Oh, we saw it in the trailer.
We did, where she falls through and like Yaz is in front of him.
Yeah. You just see John in the background suddenly plummet to his death.
Yeah. And he says, it's quite hard. I always want a stuntman to do that. He's on a wire, but we're dropping him all the way to the floor and stopping him just before the floor. I mean, we're talking an inch or so. John's constantly, can I do it? Can I do it? I said, okay, we'll test it with a stuntman. And then we did it slow run with John, and he had a great big grin on his face. I want to go faster. And he was fantastic, honestly.
Was he absolutely
fantastic?
There he is. Yeah.
You know what? So was I.
Do you think Christopher Eccleston did his own stunts?
I don't know how many stunts.
There wasn't many in that.
I don't feel
series.
like I don't remember series 1 having a lot of stunts.
Yeah, there wasn't. It was a lot of running.
Yeah. What are your feelings on the amount of stuntage going up in New Who?
There's a difference between. I think I was looking at the difference between stunts and visual effects work. I think what they're talking about there, what we saw in the trailer, that's a stunt because you're getting dropped. But then, like where there's a lot of green screen wire stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of that.
Okay.
Because I'm always like, you can tell. Like the opening of this series, for instance.
Yeah, because I know the stunt coordinator, he does actually, Crispin mentions that there's a big, like this series probably has the most wire work of any series of Doctor Who so far. Yeah, and do you kind of wish there was less?
Not against wire work, but it's more just against if it looks good.
Okay.
Because I still think that does take me out of it. I mean, you can have a really good story, but sometimes if the effects are really bad, not really bad, but the thing with Doctor Who is because the prosthetics are so good, and the practical effects are amazing, that when they do visual effects, you can tell.
I feel like that's my thinking on it as well. That when it comes to visual Doctor Who, like set designs and costumes and stuff like that, the production values on those are always top notch, always insanely well detailed. And there's nothing like, I think especially during the Chibnall era, the production value on stuff like CG is definitely way higher than it's ever been. However, compared to those prosthetics, I mean, even the CG they do today, I feel like doesn't look as good as the Ood did in 2006 even.
They're back next week.
Yeah, the Ood are back. Very exciting.
Do you think he works for Unit?
An Ood in Unit?
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool, yeah. I don't know what an Ood would do in Unit.
I'm just going to check we are recording. Yeah, we are. I can see it moving along.
Okay, excellent. Because if we weren't recording, then this would be a lot of talking for nothing.
It would be.
Yeah.
Just let me double check though, because I don't trust myself. It's not easy having yourself a good time.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. What else is there?
He also talks about Jodie herself and her involvement with
it's the same thing.
Yeah. Crispin's saying that Jodie is a seasoned pro. She's been there, done it now. She's very capable, very physical. Whenever her stunt double comes up, she's always saying,
"Fuck off! You out! No, What?
I mean, she's actually always saying, "Why is she here? Why am I not allowed to do it?"
Why is she here?
I'm sure in a less confrontational manner.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I know David. He always wanted to do his own stunts.
Yeah,
as well.
I've seen the clip of him like jumping in front of the fire for the Lazarus experiment.
Yeah. I think that wasn't a necessary case. I think he wanted to do that, but they also had to have him do it because he's
his face.
Yeah. Cool. What else do we have, babes?
We have a couple of updates about this. Well, actually, we only have one update about Centenary because the second one doesn't talk about Doctor Who specifically.
Oh, does it not? Well, we can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we talk about the Doctor Who Centenary. Here it says...
This is the video of the week.
Okay. So...
Drag this out.
Doctor Who have released a statement about what the Centenary special is going to involve. It's on Facebook. Here's what it says.
Facebook.
As part of the BBC Centenary celebrations, Jodie Whittaker's final episode playing the 13th Doctor is set to air next autumn. Having been in charge of the TARDIS since filming began in 2017, showrunner Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker are set to leave the most famous police box on Earth, and the universe. Having faced many perilous journeys, battling some of the most feared monsters throughout space and time, is the final instalment for the 13th Doctor. This epic blockbuster special will see the Doctor fight evil across the galaxy one last time. But just who will she come up against in her final battle before the Doctor regenerates once more? It's going to be the Master. It's going to be the Master. And for various reasons. First of all, I feel like one of the most acclaimed additions during Chibnall's run has been Sacha Dhawan and his performance as the Master.
Yes.
Secondly,
we saw the guy holding the box
of Master props. And thirdly, there have been several times in which the Chibnall era has been deliberately evocative of Russell T Davies's original era.
There was a quote in last night's episode, the Angels one, and it slipped past. I can't remember what it was, but there was a quote, and I was like, "Oh, that's taken directly from a Russell episode." I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, the Russell era ended with the Doctor facing off against the Master one last time.
Yeah.
I feel like Chibnall might feel inclined to do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly, why not?
Sasha's great. I'd like it. You've just got to do it so that it's different.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I worry about is how different are they going to make it. But
do you think they might do a thing where they radically alter the Master's characterization like John Simm's was in End of Time?
It's hard to say because I don't feel we've seen that much of Sasha's Master.
We've seen as much as him as we'd seen of John Simm's Master.
What episode? It was in Spyfall Part 1 and 2.
And also in The Timeless Children.
Yeah, that's true. I'd forgotten about that, yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry, you are right, yeah.
Yeah. You've seen an equal amount.
Yeah, but I don't feel like maybe... I don't know, it's so hard to... Because when I watched it when I was a kid, you would go back and rewatch it a lot. And I haven't with this. The performance... Even though I know I really liked it, it was great, I couldn't pick it straight away for what it was.
So would you rather see more of the Master as we've seen him so far?
Yes. Yeah. Whereas I feel the change between John Simm's Master appearing in Series 3 than appearing in The End of Time, as a kid, this is just me, as a kid I'd watched that episode like 5 times.
Okay.
So I was really familiar with that performance, so that when he did come back I could see the changes. Whereas I feel that when Sasha's Master first appeared, he's already more of a loose cannon than John Simm first was.
Okay.
Because he's like going around time, he's blowing shit up all the time, he's doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm looking forward to the Centenary one.
I
think
am
it's
as
the
well.
special I'm looking forward to the most.
I know, are we getting 2 other specials before that one as well?
So we're getting one, it's New Year.
Okay, which is probably a Dalek special.
Yeah, and then you're going to get one around at Easter time.
Okay.
And then you're going to get that one in the autumn.
I'm really curious what that Easter one is, because
Apparently
if it's
a pirate one.
A pirate one?
Chinese origin pirate one.
That seems very random. Like, to have, like, suddenly, like, huge blockbuster Dalek special, probably with Davros, and then also ending with a big Centenary special with the Master and Regeneration. Pirates?
Well, when you look at it, like the Waters of Mars is a random thing to put in the middle.
And I guess Planet of the Dead was a random one to put in the middle.
Yeah, but it's all about how it ties in.
Yeah.
The actual story is pretty irrelevant, really. Like the setting and all that doesn't really matter. It's more the story, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the actual motif and the theme of how it's going to continue.
Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's just because of my association with pirates, so it makes me think it'll just be kind of a fun light adventure.
I don't think it's that type. It's not like swashbuckling pirates. It's based on an actual person.
Okay, but pirates are swashbuckling still.
Yeah, but they're not Captain Jack Sparrow.
Okay, so you don't think it'll be like that Black Spot episode from series 6?
I really hope not.
I've only watched that episode once.
Yes, I've watched it twice, I think.
Yeah, and we'll soon be watching it a third time.
Hooray!
Yeah. Oh, we've also got some new promotional art of Jodie.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a thumbnail for this week's video.
Is that our first time seeing it with that kind of red light and that? No, yellow light and blue light.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It looks good. I mean, I honestly like the whole aesthetic of this whole era.
I do, but the light is a bastard when it comes to doing Photoshop work.
Because it's always really specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you think back of like the promo art for like
Series 2.
Matt Smith and Pete Capaldi, it was always like against a white backdrop, very standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All this stuff is, half of her face is blue and the other half is green. And I'm there going, how do I put that in a thumbnail?
Do you just work the rest of the thumbnail around it, or do you like try to colour correct
Sometimes
it?
I'll work the rest of the thumbnail around it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll just use the same picture of Jodie.
Mm.
Any other news, Harold? Oh, there's other Centenary stuff. Let's talk about that.
Yes.
It isn't necessarily Doctor Who.
This is just the
but
BBC's...
It's industry news and it's exciting.
This is the BBC's big just kind of announcement of all the shows they're doing to mark the centenary this year. Some of the highlights will include a 3-part series titled David Dimbleby's BBC. What's that?
Why? Why is it David Dimbleby?
Because he's hosting.
But he's not... When did you last see David Dimbleby on TV?
I can't remember.
So why have they picked him?
Legacy?
But there's better people, I
Who would
imagine.
you pick? To host a 3-part series on the history of the BBC.
I wouldn't pick one presenter, I'd pick 3.
Okay.
One from each generation.
Okay.
There you go, that's a much better idea.
I remember that there was a while ago now, Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse did like a comedy, like parody of...
I think that's in there, isn't it?
It was like a parody documentary series about BBC Two specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I remember it was really funny. They parodied all types of shows that BBC Two used to do. It was called like Story of the Twos.
So, like, if you were going to do it as a free... pardon me. If you're going to do it as a 3-part one, more recent presenters, I guess, would be people like Alex Jones and, you know, people who do those more...
Like one show.
Yeah, like those types of... Not that I necessarily like the one show, but they're sort of the face of the BBC. You know, people like Graham Norton.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's see, what else have we got? We've got ex-Blue Peter host, Hook.
Connie Hook.
Oh, Hook.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll celebrate children's programming.
That's cool. That one works.
From the past 100 years in Here's One I Made Earlier. Yeah. Okay.
I have a Blue Peter badge.
Oh, what did you get that for?
You have to wait and see.
Why do we have to wait?
Let's leave it as a mystery. I think we've mentioned it before.
I think, yeah. And you probably told us why before.
I did.
Yeah. Go back to our old videos to find that one. Comedians Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse, here it is, will reunite for a humorous look at the corporation's history.
It's got a nice, good, clean history there. They can poke lots of fun at. I'm sure they're going to have a great time.
Titled The Love Box in Your Living Room, the BBC Two retrospective is billed as a combination of real footage and genuinely authentic, made-up stuff. Okay, so it sounds like kind of they're doing the thing they did before. Again.
Okay,
but
cool.
different. I guess.
Yep.
That's very clear.
Yeah.
The pair will play spoof presenters called Adam and Curtis, named after respected documentary maker Adam Curtis and Richard Dimbleby Curtis. That's going to be... I really like Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse.
Yeah. I like it when Paul Whitehouse goes fishing with Bob Mortimer. My favourite programme.
You do really like that programme, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Oh, the reason is David Dimbleby is that he's been on the air for more than half of the BBC's 100 years.
Oh well.
So, like, he's like a legacy guy.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, the real David Dimbleby will embark on a more sober exploration of the broadcaster's role in major moments of political and cultural change, its conflicts with governments, and its own public controversies.
Do you know what? I do enjoy these BBC things. Do you remember when Television Studio shut down?
Oh, yeah.
And they had like a big celebration.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They had like 4-hour documentaries and
I remember,
stuff like that.
And then they reopened it.
Yeah. But it was all great and it was really well done and that was really interesting. So, despite as much as people slag off the BBC, and I know I do a lot, I think it's great.
Also, here's something I know a lot of people our generation will enjoy. CBBC will play host to Horrible Histories, BBC's Big Birthday Bonanza, and there will be special. So I'll start on that.
Okay.
Did you watch Horrible Histories growing up?
Yes.
I didn't.
Oh.
I feel like I'm the only person.
I thought you would have loved Horrible Histories.
I would have if I'd watched it as a kid. I bet I would have loved Horrible Histories.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch it as a
I
kid.
didn't like it as much as other kids did.
I know some kids adore Horrible Histories.
But I think as I've got older, I've appreciated it slightly more.
Yeah.
Maybe through retrospectively, like on TikTok every now and again, a Horrible History song will appear. I'm like, that was kind of clever how they did that.
Yeah.
But I think as a kid, I think maybe I was that 1 or 2 years too old for it.
Yeah.
Where I could sort of see it was edutainment and I wasn't having any of it.
That's because I know like so many people my age or older who loved Horrible Histories.
I know, but I don't want to blow, I don't blow my own trumpet, because I was so interested in television at such a young age, I was able to sort of see what it was trying to do more than maybe other kids were trying to see. Do you know what I mean?
I think the thing for me is that in my mind, my association with Horrible Histories is still the original books by Terry Deary.
See, I never read those.
So I remember, I have vivid memories of like these like CD versions of like the books, like kind of narrated and recreated by Terry Deary himself. And for me, that's what Horrible Histories is, not this sketch show thing.
I wonder if the Centenary one is going to be with the new Horrible Histories cast.
Is Horrible History still going?
It is still going, pardon me, but it's not Matthew Baton. It's not the guys who did it when we grew up with it.
I imagine they'll bring back them.
I would like them to, yeah, because I feel like it would be strange, and we're going to get into it when we talk about another program in a minute. It would be strange to celebrate an institution like the BBC with an institution with Horrible Histories without having the people who set that off.
Yeah.
Carry on.
There will also be special editions of shows, including Strictly Come Dancing, Doctor Who, I don't know what that is, Top Gear, MasterChef, The Apprentice, and Antiques Roadshow.
Cool. Let's talk about Top Gear.
Okay.
I think we spoke about it in the past.
Do you think they should bring back the original 3?
I think they should have Clarkson, Hammond, and May, plus Paddy, Chris, and Freddie.
So just a big crossover.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be fantastic, and I think now that could possibly happen.
And yeah, I mean, has Clarkson done anything with BBC since?
Yeah, he's done Have I Got News for You? And
okay.
Something else, I want to say. I don't think he hasn't had his own series.
No, but there's a foundation there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that could work, and if realistically, I don't think it will happen, but I feel like it's a possibility.
Okay.
I would really love to see that happen.
Right.
Yeah, because I know you're not such a Top Gear fan.
Not anymore, no.
You're not a fan of those 3, really?
I've gone off them. I feel like I wouldn't enjoy if that were to air on TV today. I don't feel like I'd enjoy it the same way I did as a kid.
Okay, that's interesting. But like, I remember when the Grand Tour came back and had that big opening episode of them driving through America and they all reunite. I thought it was really well done, and just the idea of just seeing those 3 and the new 3 sort of come together would be really cool. But then what I realized, because I still watch Top Gear, I think it's fantastic. There's still so many people who are like, bring back Clarkson. And it's been like 6 years.
Yeah, and also if you want more Clarkson, watch the Grand Tour.
Watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm personally quite looking forward to seeing what they do for a centenary special of The Apprentice, because I think it'd be really funny. I love The Apprentice, and I think if they brought back some of like the highlights.
I've never got into The Apprentice. Never watched it.
It's really fun. It's
seen
really
episodes
really
in
fun.
School, and I thought that's quite fun.
It's funny. It's funny, and it makes you feel like you know more about business than business people.
Strictly, what are they going to do for that?
I imagine it'll be a similar thing, where they bring back old contestants.
As long as they don't do clip shows.
They won't be. They can't just do clip shows. They're gonna do actual special things.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Imagine if Doctor Who's Centenary special is a clip show. The Doctor gets knocked unconscious and she
finds the old BBC archive of the story is that the Master wants to burn down the archive of old Doctor Who episodes that are currently unavailable, and the Doctor has to try and stop them.
Yeah. Cool.
Master, no!
Go on, carry on your riff.
Don't burn those don't burn the Marco Polo story. It's one of the most beloved pure historicals. There's nothing you can do, Doctor. The future generations will never see how Marco Polo's actor moved. No! And then she runs in to and salvage the only clip she can, which is Hartnell's regeneration into Troughton, and that costs her her own life, and then she regenerates.
Ah, okay.
So that's my proposition.
Ah, nice. I'm looking forward to the BBC Centenary stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a big old event.
I'm looking forward to... I'm hoping they do some more sitcom stuff, because it's not mentioned there.
No, next stuff is all kind of like radio stuff and sports stuff.
Yeah, I'd like them to maybe do Not Going Out, because that's kind of like now the longest running BBC sitcom.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that should get a look in. And then obviously, I think that I'm hoping they're hiding some stuff.
Okay.
Blackadder, I really, really hope.
I think bringing back Blackadder would be cool.
Can you imagine doing a Blackadder set, a one-off Blackadder? What are you doing?
I'm just playing with the foam.
Yeah, a one-off Blackadder set around the time of the start of the BBC.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I'm hoping some classic BBC stuff, not just stuff that's on now.
Yeah.
So bring back some stuff, Blackadder. Maybe you could do Only Fools.
I mean, how many of the Only Fools cast is around?
The main cast are still around.
Okay.
So
It's
David
kind of
Jason, Nicholas Lyndhurst, a few of the supporting characters.
one last hurrah for
Yeah.
Only Fools.
But John Sullivan, the original writer, isn't around anymore. But then his sons are still around, who have wrote the musical with Paul Whitehouse as well.
Okay.
So I feel like you could maybe do something with that.
Yeah.
I think there's some unmade episodes as well that you could adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could just do a bottle episode where it's Del and Rodney stuck in a traffic jam, and you just have those two, Nicholas Lyndhurst and David Jason back together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're going to do that, people are going to want to see their wives like Raquel and Cassandra and what their kids are doing now. Obviously, people like John Challis aren't here anymore, and Roger Lloyd Pack, and a few of those supporting characters aren't here anymore. But yeah, I feel like you've got the main unit are still here. So yeah,
I feel like that would be a very big deal for the British public, because I know I never grew up with it, but I know Only Fools and Horses is hugely loved intergenerationally.
Yeah. What other BBC stuff could you do? Oh God.
What? What's wrong, Tim?
Oh God, I know they're gonna do it.
What?
They're gonna do a special episode, aren't they?
Of what?
You know it.
Mrs. Brown's
Yeah.
Boys?
They're gonna do it, aren't they?
The Mrs. Brown's Boys Centenary special?
They're gonna do it. I know it. I don't want them to. Oh God.
Is there a Christmas special this year?
Probably. There was a live episode.
Oh. Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah. I didn't watch it.
Dear God.
Anyway, do you want to move on to back to Doctor Who stuff? Okay.
What else do we have, Harry?
Right. Mandip Gill on the growing tension between Yaz and the Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, this is just Mandip Gill talking about the way that the Doctor and Yaz's relationship has changed in this series. Yeah.
It's not where anybody thought it was going to go.
Well, I feel like it was hinted at in Revelation.
That they were going to get sexy.
No, they were going to get, just that tension was going to grow. I mean,
it
was interpreted that there could be a romantic thing, but I feel like that's not been the plan, because I don't see any kind of romantic tension.
No, but no. I think it would have been interesting to go there.
It would have been interesting to go there, but obviously that's a choice Chibnall chose not to make.
Because he's a coward.
So here's what...
Come on.
This is what Mandip Gill has said. The Doctor, as we know, she's going through something and she doesn't want to talk about it. She always finds an excuse not to tell us. So I think Yaz, having spent a lot of time with the Doctor, is a bit like, oh, come on, you really don't tell us anything. Our tension is coming from that. You keep making us do things, keep making us chase you around, but you're never explaining what's wrong with you. Where have you come from? Yaz doesn't really know that much about the Doctor, and yet she's gone on this massive journey with her.
Does Yaz know the Doctor can regenerate?
I don't think she does, no.
I don't think any of them did they?
No, and I feel like Yaz will probably be gone by the time of the Centenary special.
Yeah.
So I feel like
No, she's in it. She's in the Centenary special.
How do we know she's in it?
We've seen her doing filmings.
Ah, right. But I feel like she's gonna be gone by the end of it. I don't feel like she's gonna.
I don't think she'll be there for the regeneration.
That's it. That's what I mean.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she'll probably leave the Doctor never knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Yaz has opened up about what it was like in Sheffield and what she went through at school. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I think she thinks it's only fair that the Doctor does that. From the Doctor's perspective, she's obviously not in a position to talk about it. But naturally, it's come to a little bit of a head. But she said also that she doesn't think it's anything that people need to worry about. I think it's just what would happen naturally in a relationship between two people that have been going around space together, having all these adventures. You know, Yaz does idolise the Doctor. She does think that's the best thing that's ever happened to her. She's opened Yaz up to so many things, but at the same time, you do naturally get annoyed with people. So basically, it sounds like these tensions will come to a head, and they will be resolved in a cordial way. There won't be a massive falling out between Yaz and the Doctor. Things will get patched up.
Cool. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wish they'd sort of played into that a bit more.
Because it was very prominent in the first episode.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
But I think then so much stuff happened that
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
it's not been addressed.
And now they're split up. Never to see each other again. Do you know what's going to be interesting is however they get brought back from the past.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she just go get Rory and Amy? Bring them back from the past.
People have said that so many times.
Yeah.
That's what I thought I saw it.
Yeah.
I don't... Well, I remember the New York thing. There was the thing that, like, that something about New York meant that the TARDIS couldn't travel within New York.
Don't get a signal because of all the tall buildings.
Something like that, yeah. I think it's something about, like, how New York was so dense with history that it was, like, dangerous for the TARDIS to travel within it or something.
Fair enough. Yeah, cool. I like Yaz. Probably a companion that's had quite a good character development.
I feel like especially in this series.
In this last series, yeah. I was looking back at some footage from the first two seasons, and it made me realise how much I didn't really like Ryan and Graham that much.
Okay. I liked Graham.
Yeah, no, I liked Graham, but I had to say that so people didn't think I was picking up Ryan. I mean, I think...
I feel like there was a few moments where Ryan was written in a way which really played to Tosin Cole's strengths.
Yeah.
Particularly when he got funny material.
Yes.
Like, given funny material, like on Orphan... What's it called? Orphan 55?
I haven't seen that one.
On Orphan 55, there's some material where Ryan, like, gets a crush on this girl. And, like, he's, like, fumbling around. And it's really, really funny.
Okay.
And I feel like if they'd been more material for Ryan like that, he would have been great.
Yeah. I just, when I watched that performance, I think there's a lot of, yeah, but Doctor, what am I going to do now? Just a lot of mumbling and...
It's understated, yeah.
Yeah. I don't really think it works that well. But yeah, Yaz has been great. And what I liked about it in the last episode as well, she actually gets to do some police work.
I noticed that. Like, she starts, like, giving, when they're looking for the girl, there's
Yeah.
like, have you done this? Have you looked here? Have you thought about these things?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that
They remembered.
Maxine Allerton's a good writer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. Should we, anything else?
That's everything about that.
Oh, did I not send you the last thing?
One last thing, Jodies Tardis has been dismantled.
Okay, cool. I think there was one other bit of news I found which I didn't send to you, so I'll send it to you now, and we'll save it till the
But while we're talking about this, someone put out a post on Instagram just saying that when you know someone working with Doctor Who and you get asked if you'd like a piece of the TARDIS set as it's being pulled down with a photograph of one of the panels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that basically means that...
Do you have it there?
Yeah, right here.
I can't see, you have to move. Oh, wow, crazy.
Yeah, one of those hexagonal panels. So yeah, Jodie's TARDIS has been dismantled, which means they're probably done with it.
So where does she regenerate?
Well, her regeneration scene's already been filmed.
But the pickup...
Do you think the pickup's been filmed?
Well, no, because they haven't cast another Doctor.
Do we know that the Doctor's
Well,
not
Jodie
been cast?
doesn't know who it is.
But that doesn't mean they've not been cast.
I imagine she would know. They would tell her.
Right. Well, I mean, possibly. Or they're going to set it up, remake that TARDIS set in the new studio.
Oh, yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
But then they're giving bits out.
Oh, yeah. So... I don't know. Maybe Jodie doesn't regenerate in the TARDIS.
Do you think they just regenerated her on a green screen?
It's possible. We don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, have to wait and see.
Yeah, like...
I don't like it when we don't get a face morph.
Yeah, do you like... I like the face morph.
morph.
It adds a feeling of, like, connectivity.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't, it leaves it very open-ended.
Yeah, and people like to cram as much potential story ideas into that as possible.
Exactly. You can fit other doctors in there, which is quite fun. Fugitive Doctor maybe between...
Troughton and Pertwee.
That still stands up, that theory.
Yeah. I like that theory.
I do. That's my personal favourite. So yeah, I'll just wait and see. Nice TARDIS, though.
Yeah, it was a nice TARDIS.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're going to miss the TARDIS?
No.
Okay. Why not?
I don't really think we spent that much time in it.
Oh, we spend plenty
And
of
you
time.
can't really see it that well on screen compared to Smith and Tennant's first TARDIS and Capaldi's TARDIS. It's quite dark and you don't really get a sense of the space of it that well.
Okay.
Whereas the other TARDIS is quite bright and quite well lit. You can see every single crevice.
But I feel like something would be lost in Jodies TARDIS if it was really well lit. I like kind of like that alien mystique.
Yeah,
to
exactly, but I don't feel like we've explored it enough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It was quite a big set though. I've seen behind the scenes photos of it. It is a big 360 set, but yeah, I don't know. I just never really connected with it as much as I have with previous ones.
Interesting. I feel like it's kind of the most extreme difference from like you get stuff like you get stuff like the Series 7B and Capaldi TARDISes that are very much kind of like feel like man-made spaceships, and you get stuff like Jodie's TARDIS and the
very organic,
and the RTDR TARDIS, which are very like either crystal or like organic, almost like roots. Yeah. And I personally prefer the more alien aesthetic because of this whole idea that the TARDIS is a living thing.
Yeah, exactly. I like that as well. Yeah. Anything else?
Yes, you've just sent me this about John Simm. Ooh, interesting. I wonder what this is going to say. Tim trolled me. Tim sent me something with the caption, John Simm wants to return to the 60th. And it's a BBC article saying, ding, ding, crazy frog to make a comeback in December. So this is very interesting. So let's dive into this. So basically the Crazy Frog, the force behind a viral ringtone that spawned a global chart-topping single in 2005, is to return. The blue animated amphibian, known for riding an imaginary motorcycle while impersonating the sound of its engine, whilst also having its penis on show.
Yeah, that's why he got cancelled, didn't he, really?
Did he get cancelled? I don't know if they just censored the penis out.
No, that's why I think why some of the adverts got pulled and why I think it led to the...
I'm sure I've seen like when it being aired on TV with it censored.
Why was you looking at a frog's penis?
It was on TV.
So you looked?
I didn't choose what channel it was on.
Okay, carry on. Perv.
But yeah, wow, the Crazy Frog beat Coldplay to number 1.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, yeah. So yeah, the decision to release new music follows an increase in interest on YouTube, according to Wolfgang Boss, president of A&R for... I can't do this.
That's people of our age going, do you remember the Crazy Frog?
Yeah, remember Crazy Frog?
And going on and looking at it again. Oh yeah, and then never looking at it again.
I don't... Sorry, I can't actually talk about Crazy Frog.
Oh.
I can't bring myself to talk about the Crazy Frog.
Ding ding.
Ding 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 ding.
It was cool, wasn't he?
No.
He had a video game?
I remember there were like 2 video games, weren't they? Like Crazy Frog Racer or something.
Yeah, I remember playing it. Yeah.
Mario Kart, but with the Crazy Frog.
Yeah.
For all those poor PS2 owners.
I'm excited to see what he's going to do next.
Probably more music.
Yeah.
Remember when he did a cover? I remember the Crazy Frog did a cover of like We Are the Champions, and I'm annoyed. And it was like done as like a football anthem, and that was my first time ever hearing We Are the Champions.
Oh, God.
And I hate that. I hate the fact my first exposure to We Are the Champions was through the Crazy Frog.
Crazy Frog's got his own Twitter account. Should we see what he's up to?
No.
Mark your calendars, December the 10th.
Are you going to like have like a segment in this podcast?
Ding ding, Crazy Frog to make comeback in December the 10th. Here it comes. It's had 1,099 likes.
I just want to.
My next single will be like, ring ding ding ding. I want to see some Crazy Frog fan art. Send your best. It's had 42 replies.
You're making me feel ill. You're making me feel.
It's the first one. It's Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and a pregnant Crazy Frog.
I feel ill, Tim. I need a doctor or 5.
I'm not going to describe this.
Tim, can you bring me in 5 doctors? Tim, I just did the segue. I just did a transition. 5 doctors! 5 doctors! Make this hell end!
They're all just traumatizing crazy fuck with a massive penis.
We're doing the 5 doctors!
It's still recording, Harry. You don't know how to...
Oh,
I'm gonna.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut it down, pop up!
Humans are better in one respect. You are better at subscribing. Seek, locate, subscribe. What's the point in having you all?
Happy birthday, Doctor Who!
It's not today, though, Harry.
It's on Wednesday, right?
Yeah. No.
On Wednesday, it's the 58th...
Thursday, I think, actually.
On Thursday, this week marks the 58th anniversary of Doctor Who, which really puts into perspective...
No, what day is it? The 23rd?
Today's the 23rd, yeah.
No, it's the 22nd today.
Oh, 22nd, yeah.
It's tomorrow, it's Tuesday.
Well...
The day this goes out.
The day this goes out, so at the time of saying this is Doctor Who's 28th birthday, which really
28th?
58th, which really puts into perspective all of the speculation we do about the 60th, considering it's going to be 2 years exactly before we get to see it.
Gotta get those views, boy.
Gotta get those views, boy!
Talk about the 25th anniversary.
Was it the 25th or the 20th?
20th anniversary.
The 20th anniversary, the 5 Doctors.
Harry, did you watch Doctor Who, the 5 Doctors 25th anniversary edition of the 20th anniversary of Doctor Who?
I think I did.
You watched the special edition version, didn't you?
Yeah, with the sparkly triangle.
Yeah, I watched the televised version.
Was
just
there
a
much...
plain black triangle?
I feel like we pretty much had the same experience.
I imagine it was. I imagine it wasn't much different.
Yeah.
Harry introduced the episode in the
This
same way you would as if we were doing a watch along.
is the 5 Doctors by Terrance Dicks.
Yay! You remembered. I didn't think you were going to notice.
No, because I've heard the name Terrance Dicks before. He's like one of the big writers for Classic Who, isn't he?
Yep. Starring Peter Davison, John Pertwee, Patrick Charlton, Richard Hurdle, with Tom Baker and William Hartnell. We'll get into all of that fun stuff. Let's talk about the start of the episode. Opens with the first Doctor doing his speech.
Yes, I will come back, Susan, which is very apt because this is the first time that Susan returned to the show, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that Susan, they don't try and like pass her off as
Younger Susan.
Yeah, they're like, this is Susan now.
Yeah.
Not that they explain what happened to her when she left. She's like, Grandfather, it's you again!
Susan, hello!
Yeah.
Oh my, me boy.
Should we talk about the 5th Doctor's TARDIS?
Yeah, why?
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the classic 80s.
It changes a lot, though.
Did they change? I thought that
Different
kind of...
to Tom Baker's.
Yeah, but I thought kind of from Davison onward, like, that was just the
I think it changes a little bit for McCoy.
Okay.
But only slightly.
Yeah, it's like kind of... It was a very simple TARDIS design, and it's like, it works.
I like the bit where even then, I sort of saw bits where I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, that's kind of sweet. They still sort of do that now, where Tegan's not 100% convinced that the TARDIS works.
Yeah.
And the Doctor's trying to play it off that it works. And he walks off, and then he just has to walk back and flick a little switch. And then it all... Oh, no, he doesn't. He just... Doesn't he hit it or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it all comes to life again.
I will say, I've watched barely any Classic Who.
Oh, same.
Yeah, so this is actually my first Peter Davison story, and I quite liked
This
him.
is my second, yeah. I want to get into him because his companions are Tegan, an Australian lady, the Doctor, and a man with ginger hair.
What was his name?
I can read it out for you in spelling, and you can tell me how it's pronounced.
Okay.
Turlough.
Turlough?
We'll go with that.
He was drawing.
He was drawing on a Yorkshire hill.
Yeah, bit of representation. We don't get it much.
No. He's very poetic, the 5th Doctor. Very dramatic. He stood on the side of a Yorkshire hill and he grasps his heart, one of them, even though he's got 2, and he says, it's like parts of my life have fallen away like icebergs. What a random thing to say.
Yeah.
Yes, what did you think of the 5th Doctor, Harry?
The 5th Doctor, I liked him. I mean, he's pretty much what I've heard of him, like a pleasant chap.
Yep.
Although he does have, he's not just all politeness. Like, you can tell, especially here because he's against the Time Lords, that he just doesn't really enjoy being around them. And he has quite a bit of sass. I didn't expect him to have the amount of sass that he had.
He does, doesn't he? From when we've seen him in Time Crash, very sassy little old man.
Yeah.
And now he's a sassy young man.
Yeah, a sassy young chap.
He was the youngest actor to play the role.
How old was he? Like, late 20s then?
9 or 10, I think.
Okay.
Very young. Did you enjoy the episode, Harry?
I enjoyed it more than the Three Doctors.
Yes. Do you think that's because this was just one episode?
I think partly that, and also because I feel like this is something that crossed my mind partway through, which is if I were to take all the cameos and doctors in this and to mentally replace that with either mentally replace those with new Who doctors that I have a relationship with, or go back to if I was growing up during this era, a group of these doctors, this would be great fan service.
Yeah.
Like all these doctors, all these companions, the Master, Daleks, Cybermen.
Should we work out who we would have?
Well, if it would...
So the first doctor would be Christopher Eccleston.
Yep.
With Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Then you would have Tennant, but
then Christopher Eccleston would be played by a different Northern actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have David Tennant, but Patrick Troughton didn't have his companion.
Well, he had the Brigadier.
Yeah,
so...
he meets Jamie and Zoe later.
Yeah, so he'd meet Martha and Donna.
Yeah,
maybe.
That'd be cool. Because
Yeah.
that would work, because
Yeah.
he doesn't have either of them. But who would he be travelling with?
I guess
Jack?
Yeah.
Or some random...
Well, maybe Sarah Jane. Well, it couldn't be Sarah Jane, I guess.
Yeah. Then you would have Matt Smith.
Yep.
On his own, because John Pertwee was on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And then he meets Sarah.
Yeah.
So he would meet...
I guess he'd meet Clara, because the whole thing of, like, your face has changed. Your face is back. So would it be...
Yeah, it would be Clara.
You have Clara.
Yeah. And then you would have...
Clips of Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
From an unaired episode.
Okay, yeah. And then you would have
Jodie
with whoever she's with.
I guess Yaz and Dan.
Yeah.
As an equivalent, that's a pretty great crossover.
It is,
If you look at the equivalents.
Yeah.
And then you'd also have the Master, and I imagine the current Master, Sacha Dhawan.
Yeah.
With Daleks and also Cybermen.
We'll get to all of that. Should we talk about... Do you want to go through each Doctor?
Yeah.
We'll save certain Doctors for last. So let's talk about Patrick. Yeah. Super cool to see him back.
The classic Doctor I've probably watched the most is Patrick Troughton, and maybe it's just because of that, but I really like Patrick Troughton's Doctor.
He's great, isn't he?
He's really fun.
When he walks in and that guy tries to grab him and pull him out, he just pulls his coat. He's like, oh, thank you.
I like the way, like, when someone else is taking over from Brigadier, it's like, oh yeah, my replacement wasn't very promising.
Yeah, I like it, yeah. So this obviously set after the Three Doctors.
Yeah. Although then the thing I don't understand is, because didn't Troughton only get separated from his companions and their memories were wiped in his last episode?
I can't remember, Harry.
I mean, have you seen War Games?
No.
My understanding is that he only gets separated from Jamie and co at the end of War Games, which means I don't understand where this would fit, because then he got forced into regeneration.
Continuity was that big of a problem.
I mean, wasn't this like a Children in Need special or something?
No, this was just an episode.
This is just an episode. I thought it was like a charity thing.
No.
I'm
That's
thinking
all
of...
to come.
Okay.
One thing that I did notice is there's a lack of music in a lot of this. And I think that's something that maybe sells a lot of emotion now. Is when the second Doctor meets the Brigadier, it's just them talking. There's no backing music, whereas now obviously there would be. There was nothing. Yeah,
they went more for kind of a minimalist kind of feel for it, which I guess was common for sci-fi of the era.
Yeah. I wrote the Brigadier is back. Good to see him again.
Yeah. I like the Brigadier here more than in the Three Doctors.
He's older, he's wiser.
Yeah, he feels more appreciative.
Is it like his anniversary or something like that? He's celebrating a birthday.
Something like that, yeah.
The third Doctor in Bessie, and he says, "Great balls of fire."
I like the third Doctor as well. I felt Pertwee was enjoying himself. I was enjoying watching Pertwee, and him and Sarah Jane work really well together.
Well, that was the original teaming.
Yeah. Sarah Jane was companion first to Pertwee, yeah.
Second companion to Pertwee.
No, it was in she was a companion to Pertwee before.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I meant.
K9, he gets a little play.
Yeah,
Beware of the Dog.
K9 and Company was canonised.
Yes. So we've spoken about all the Doctors. Which one do you want to talk about first? 1 or 4?
I guess, what was there to say about 4? It was a cool clip from Sharda.
We've got some stuff to say about 4.
We'll
talk about Tom Baker.
Yeah, because I know he chose not to be in this.
He said no originally because he fell out with John Nathan Turner.
Okay.
And then he sort of slowly started to warm to it, and John Nathan Turner gave the order for the scriptwriters to go ahead and write Tom Baker in the episode, to which then Tom Baker turned around and said, I'm not going to be in it, and then they had to rewrite the whole script.
Yes.
But Tom Baker did say he was going to turn up for the photo calls, the photo ops.
But then didn't they?
Then he didn't turn up.
So they used the
waxwork from Madame Tussauds instead. Which, if you look at the behind the scenes photos,
they have loads of fun with it.
It's like John Pertwee kissing his hand, and they're like carrying him. It's really well done. So yeah, that's that for that. But I think he has said recently that he does kind of regret not being in it.
Yeah.
Because of the fans, and he says the fans have been so lovely to him that he kind of feels like he kind of...
It's only been very in kind of New Who that Tom Baker has crossed over properly.
That's the first time he's returned.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with David Tennant where he said Tom Baker not returning in the 5 Doctors was the reason he returned for the 50th.
Okay.
Because he remembers how disappointed he was that Tom Baker wasn't in that. Because he was his favourite Doctor.
Yeah.
And obviously he knows that he will be many people's favourite Doctor.
Yeah.
So the idea of not having your favourite Doctor return when asked...
Do you think if David's approaching his 60th, that will also be the reason why he would come back? Or do you think it might be a thing of like, well, I've done it now?
I think he'd come back.
Yeah.
I mean, of course he will. Should we talk about the first Doctor?
Yes, played by, is it Richard Turnbull?
Herndl.
Herndl.
We've had this conversation before.
I always make
Richard Turnbull is like a random politician or something like that.
Richard Herndl.
Yeah.
I think he does a pretty good job.
He does do a good job, doesn't he? He's okay. Not a canny resemblance.
No, you can tell it's not.
And the voice isn't 100% there.
No, but it's good enough. It's close enough.
The original plan was to have Susan and the first Doctor revealed to be androids.
Okay.
And that they would have been blown up by Daleks, and it would have been called the 6 Doctors.
The 6 Doctors?
Yeah, because you would have had Peter Davison, Tom Baker, John Pertwee, Patrick Charlton, Richard Herndl as the actual Doctor, and Richard Herndl as Auton Doctor.
I'm glad they didn't go through with that. I thought that would have overcomplicated
Apparently as well,
things.
Richard Herndl died before he got his paycheck, so he never got paid.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was really, really late on in his career.
I think he died like less than a year later.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Christ.
The Master's back!
Yes, played by, is it Anthony Ainsley?
Nope.
No.
Maybe? I don't know. Let's not go there. We don't know enough yet.
We don't know enough about Classic Who.
Great. Like him. He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
I like it that he's... Even when they said, you have to save the Doctor, even I was like, ooh, that's a good twist.
Yeah.
They should do that now.
What are your thoughts on the whole kind of framing device of it being in the death zone on Gallifrey?
Should we just talk about the actual episode, right? Because I thought... I was really bored by it, man. It doesn't hold up very well.
It's fun. It's like, it's not... Even though it is... It's not... It doesn't feel like the highest stakes. It feels like it is an excuse for all these Doctors to come together. And the best parts of it are when there are multiple Doctors on screen together.
They don't shy away. If you look at the 50th, that's a Matt Smith-focused episode. It's Matt Smith's storyline, and it follows Matt Smith.
Yeah.
Matt Smith meets the 10th Doctor along the way. You follow that. Whereas in this, they don't shy away from not having Peter Davison in it for a long time.
But he doesn't feel like the central character.
Exactly.
So you feel like it would have worked better if it was a lot of Davison story.
A lot of this is the 3 Doctors. There's the first Doctor, second Doctor, and the third Doctor.
Because that's a proven dynamic that works.
Yeah. I wrote a note here. In the hour and a half Doctor Who episode, The 5 Doctors, it's 1 hour 20 before we see 4 of them together. Which is the most Doctors you ever see on screen, and they get less than 10 minutes of screen time together.
Yeah, I do wish that they got to the Doctors meeting up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I really liked it because you could tell they were kind of cordial with each other, but you could tell none of them really liked each other, which I enjoyed.
I saw a thing, documentary afterwards with Peter Davison where he said that they deliberately kept them all separate because they were worried about egos. But then when they were all together, they all got on perfectly fine. And Peter Davison said that he wished that episode had more multi-Doctor action in it.
Because I feel like from what I've heard, when they filmed the Three Doctors, there was a bit of ego bashing between Troughton and Pertwee. Okay. However, once they'd finished filming it, they became really good friends, especially on the convention scene.
Yeah.
So maybe they were worried about a repeat of that. But like, Richard Herndl wouldn't have that kind of ego because he's a newcomer to it. Yeah. And also, I feel like Pete Davison had grown up with Doctor Who, and so he had enough of a, reverence for it, for him to have respect for those older Doctors. So I feel like that wasn't something they should have ever feared.
That Dalek explode's cool.
Yeah, that is a cool explosion, and you see all like the bits of it afterwards.
Why does the third Doctor say that when he meets Sarah says, "Oh, it's you. You've changed,"
Yeah.
And the John Pertwee says, "Oh yeah, I've become all teeth and curls." But how would he know that?
I guess that's
just a little throwaway joke.
I guess as well. Yeah.
The first Doctor again doesn't know which one his TARDIS is. He walks into the fifth Doctor's TARDIS and he's confused to why they're in it, even though it looks completely different.
Well, I think at the time, the continuity was meant to be that the TARDIS always looked the same, both inside and out, and it's only in New Who the idea of the TARDIS regenerating itself with the Doctor.
But I also like that in Twice Upon a Time, he gets his TARDIS confused as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He gets a nice little carry-on joke. The Master flagging down the Doctor while he's driving past him, Bessie. He just steps out from behind a rock and goes, "Oh, Doctor!"
The Master's meant to be campy and funny, isn't he?
He is.
I really enjoyed the bit where he was running through the quarry and there were explosions around him and his cape was and I was look at him go! Yeah. I think that's part of the fun. I feel like that's intentional.
Yeah. The Cybermen are also here. One of them gets his head blown off by that jumping around silver dude.
I like the jump around silver dude.
What's going on, man?
I'm guessing that's some kind of Gallifreyan robot guard thing.
Okay. That Cyborg gets his head clean, shot straight off. I really didn't like this.
Do you not enjoy the quarry?
No, I found it really boring, this whole thing. And I think we've tried to watch this before we've done the podcast.
I remember, yeah.
And I've shown you bits of it just to show you how bad it was. But it's just quite a boring story.
I feel like for what it was going for the most part, it succeeds. And I don't know, I feel like it's hard to jump from doing New Who every week to jumping to Classic Who because it is such a whiplash.
Yeah.
I feel like I usually feel unqualified when we do these stories because it's I don't know these Doctors.
I would like us to maybe get one of the box sets. They keep releasing the Classic Doctor.
The Blu-ray ones?
And maybe do something with them.
Okay.
Go through all of John Pertwee's, or just pick a Doctor and go through all their stuff.
I'd really like to just at some point do the Baker era.
Yeah,
because either Troughton or Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brigadier lays out the Master, gives him a good old punch. And Razzalon's here also.
Yes, Razzalon's in his grave doing immortal stuff.
Yeah, it's just a big floaty head like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And the President's behind it as well.
And then the Doctor's the President.
He is. I'm all out of notes. Look, the intention is great, and I bet people at the time really, really liked it. I wonder if in 20 years' time, 25 years' time, 25 plus years' time, we'll be looking at the 50th going, or people will be looking at the 50th going, wow.
I think it's the thing that the 50th set are, we're going to get into Moffat era soon, but Moffat, he set a new benchmark for what anniversary specials can be with the 50th.
Yeah.
And now we're about to go into the 60th, and that benchmark's in place. And there's a lot of pressure on Russell, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
If I was Russell, I would be feeling the pressure of people are going to compare this to the 50th.
Yeah. One thing... I know, right? I just feel I don't know. It was fun, and I enjoyed it. It was nice seeing all the Doctors together. But it was basically all the bits that I wanted, that I hadn't seen... Sorry, all the bits that there was something more. I felt like I'd seen all of it on YouTube clips.
And I guess there's also the thing of, at the time, if you think about when it was broadcast at the time, it will have been a good while since people had seen new
didn't
adventures
get
of the
the
first
reruns.
Doctor.
Yeah.
But it would been a while since they'd seen new stuff of the first Doctor, or the second Doctor, or the third Doctor. So just to see them and all companions on screen
They
again.
didn't have videos, they didn't have DVDs, they
Yeah.
didn't have repeats.
Yeah.
So if you know,
So I feel like we take it for granted now that all of those are considered past Doctors to see them on screen again.
yeah,
I
like
feel
for some
there's-
people that would have been the first time
Yeah.
they would have seen these Doctors.
I feel like you can even feel it kind of going back to Day of the Doctor, that it doesn't feel as special as it did at the time that we were seeing David Tennant on our screens again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because we'll get to the 50th before we get to. We will get to that in the next year. We will do the Day of the Doctor episode.
Do you think so? We can get through 3 series?
Well, we've done 4 in a year.
Oh,
4 and a load of specials.
To be fair, yeah.
So we'll get to it in the next year, I would have thought. So I'm interested to get to that. But anything that stood out for you?
I think I've kind of covered everything, yeah.
A little Wessel Gummidge joke?
Yes, I did mention this, that kind of Pertwee refers to Trout as Scarecrow, and I presume that Pertwee had or was playing Wessel Gummidge at this time.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Originally, Tom Baker's Doctor was the one that was meant to be turned at the end to the evil.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't want to watch it again.
No, I mean, I feel like... yeah, I'm not... Yeah, I feel like I could, at some point down the line, watch it again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have, like...
It was long. It felt longer than it was.
It was an hour 40.
It felt longer than that.
It didn't feel that long to me, I don't know.
Oh, it did for me. I was watching it like going, oh, well, we're still here. I think that's because there's like 4 adventures going on at once while they're all trying to get to the same place.
There's too many plots being juggled.
Yeah. I maybe think they should have teamed up groups of Doctors earlier.
Yeah, I would have teamed up 2 and 3 earlier, or
Yeah.
maybe 1 and 2.
Yeah, that would have been cool,
Yeah.
Just sort of bring them together. What do you think then about them calling it the 5 Doctors when it isn't?
I mean,
bit
yeah,
of a con, isn't
it's
it?
the 4 Doctors.
Because even if you look at we've got the DVD here, Tom Baker's on the DVD cover. He's got a credit listing as he's in the episode.
Well, because I guess that Sharda clip was technically, new footage.
The Doctor's past incarnations are being snatched out of time and space and transported to the Death Zone on Gallifrey, where they are reunited with some old friends and pitted against their deadliest enemies in the game of Razalon. Someone is manipulating the Doctor and his companions in order to claim the most ancient and powerful secrets of the Time Lords.
Is it
But
bad?
can they survive the challenges and uncover the traitor before it's too late? The 25th anniversary DVD set contains the original 1983 version of the 5 Doctors, plus a special edition from 1995 featuring new effects and extended scenes.
Is it bad that when I saw like the little figurines, I thought, ooh, look, Doctor Who amiibos.
What are amiibos?
The little Nintendo figurines.
Oh, is that... yeah.
The little, like, AFC ones that you scan and
Yeah.
they do stuff in the game.
I tell you what is worth talking about, Harry. And that's because I was thinking, I looked at the Wikipedia, and do you remember Sergeant Benson from the 3 Doctors? He was the guy who wasn't the Brigadier. He was like the other unit officer who was there. He appeared. He's quite a big character in Classic Who.
Okay.
He was asked to come back, but they wanted him to not remember who the 2nd Doctor was, even though he would remember. Because,
Yeah.
So it didn't make sense. And it got me looking at the character of Sergeant Benson. I thought maybe because Unit's returning this week, maybe we're going to see the return of maybe some classic Unit characters. That would be cool. Nice little throwback. And I found myself in a weird world of unofficial Doctor Who spin-offs.
Okay.
So
those video
So
ones.
what happened was there was a loophole that meant when Doctor Who was taken off air, if you had created a character and it was in your contract, you had rights to the character.
So you can use that character out of the context of
So
Doctor Who.
Sergeant Benson had his own TV movie.
Right.
Or straight to DVD. All of these are straight to DVD. Called Wartime. And I think we should do some of these.
Okay.
Wartime in 1987. There is Shakedown, Return of the Sontarans, 1994.
They could use some Tyrants as well.
Yep. These are all what they classed as Probe, which were a lot of these were written by Mark Gatiss. So the Zero Impact, the Zero Impractive from 1994, The Devil of Winterbone 1995, Unnatural Selection 1996, Ghosts of Winterborn 1996, and so they were all Probe. The last one was in 1996, and then they brought it back in 2015. with When to Die, a straight to YouTube thing in 2015. Shadow of Doubt 2020, and there was one this year as well, which I haven't wrote down. Colin Baker, after being fired from Doctor Who, got his own unofficial series called The Stranger from 1991 to 1995, which is a throwaway Doctor Who DVD.
I'm aware of The Stranger, yeah.
Downtime 1995. The Autons got 3 DVD movies: Autons 1, Autons 2, Autons 3. The Air Zone Solution from 1993. And in 2008, Zygons, When Being You Just Isn't Enough.
I can't help but think, would it not be a bit weird to watch this probe stuff without the context of the classic Who?
I think that's why we should watch some... shall I show you some of the stuff from the Sontarans?
Okay.
Shakedown, Return of the Sontarans. It looks fantastic. Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong one, my apologies. Shakedown, Return of the Sontarans. Here you go. Here's a screenshot.
That's the Sontarans like I've never seen them before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look more like Silurians.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
So I think we should definitely do something with some of this.
Oof.
There's like a whole back category of stuff that I've never even heard of. From the world of BBC TV's Doctor Who, Shakedown, Return of the Sontarans. The race is on and the prize is glorious death.
Are you sure it's sensible to watch these without understanding the classic Who?
I think we can watch the monster ones.
Okay.
I think we can maybe watch Wartime. But because they don't link into classic Doctor Who, they're not continuing a story.
Yeah.
They're just sort of vaguely Doctor Who similarities in them.
But even like tonally, like it'll be trying to emulate that classic Who style that we're not familiar with.
One thing that I saw is it's Doctor Who in every way apart from name, shape and budget.
Okay, so it might not even resemble classic Who.
Exactly, and they were made in the 90s and John Pertwee's in some of them and he was Doctor Who in
the because it's all Wilderness era stuff, isn't it?
So it should be good fun. Should we move on from this terrible part of the show?
Yeah.
Should we do recommendations?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was an alright part of the show.
I don't think we really enjoyed the Five Doctors that much.
I thought we were talking about the podcast.
Oh.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
What do you want to recommend, Harry?
Before I go, I just want to tell you you were fantastic.
Right.
Keep it light, keep it energetic. Here we go. Here it goes. With a big baseball bat, he's going to knock it out of the park. Harry Maddox, what are you going to recommend?
I've not had a chance to watch anything this week. I was graduating.
So you got nothing?
Not presently. Can you come back to me?
I'll come back to you. I'm going to recommend the first Scouting for Girls album.
Oh, yes, because
I saw Scouting for Girls this week and I re-listened to their first album and it's a banger. It's great. It's a really good album. I know last week I recommended the first half an hour of Red Notice. Not Red Notice.
Dave, you haven't watched
Book, and I haven't watched the rest of it.
Why not?
I forgot.
Oh.
I just haven't had the interest to go back to it.
Oh. Was it not good enough then?
It was, but it's not one of those things where it's like, I've got to see how that continues. When I'm at the gym next, I'm sure I'll put it back on and watch the next half an hour.
Tim's not been to the gym this week.
I haven't.
No.
No.
Have you been busy?
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah. So what are you going to recommend? You must have something.
Oh, let me think.
I'm a Celeb?
It was pretty good. I mean, it's hard to recommend I'm a Celeb based on just the first episode.
This is the first series where I haven't been that invested.
Well, I've always been quite non-committal when it comes to watching I'm a Celeb, just because it's on every single evening.
Yeah. And
it's a big ask. For me, it feels like a big ask to tune in to watch an hour plus of Terrorly every evening of a show.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a day they're covering, how much has happened in a day.
Yeah.
I know they always have, the Bush Sugar trial and the task that day. I do like I'm a Celeb, and actually I really like the different feel that they being in Wales brings. It feels like kind of a less aggressive version of SAS.
Oh yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like the marketing wasn't that strong this year either. There wasn't a lot of push on it.
On ITV you got adverts for it.
But it was all like the same sort of ding, 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 little stings.
Oh, I know what I watched. Right before I'm a Celeb, there was an audience with Adele.
David Tennant was in the audience.
David Tennant was in the audience.
Samuel Jackson was in the audience.
Yes.
Emma Thompson was in the audience.
Yeah.
She does a dance.
The funny thing about David Tennant was he just stood out in every crowd shot.
He's got his red hair.
He's got his flaming red hair for Series 2 of Good Omens.
I need to watched series 1 of Good Omens.
You would like Good Omens.
I feel like I've watched the first few because it came out in my first year of uni.
Yeah. You would like Good Omens.
Would I now?
Yes.
You don't know.
Yes,
me.
I do. I know you pretty well.
A lot of people recommend a lot of stuff by saying, you would really like this.
Yeah, but Tim, I know you. I know what
and
you
I
like.
know I would like Good Omens.
Yeah.
It's like Harrison, god-awful human being, just going on about, I should watch The Boys on Amazon all the time. You know, that superhero.
Yeah.
And Josh is going on about it. You gotta watch it, you'd love it. And I'm like, I know I wouldn't like it. I'm bored of the superhero stuff.
Are you not going to watch A Very Hawkeye Christmas?
I'm going to watch that. That looks good.
But that's the thing. My brother we were watching the ads for it, and the ad came on. It's like, you know what? I'd be up for Hawkeye Christmas.
It looks good, doesn't it?
I think if they really, really, really lean into the kind of like the Die Hard-esque Christmas thing, then maybe I'd be on board.
Haley Steinfeld as well. That's an amazing reason.
Is she playing Hawkeye?
Kate Bishop. Young. The next Hawkeye, really.
Is that like Hawkeye's daughter?
No, it's not, but it's like the next Hawkeye.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else that's coming up that we should talk about?
I don't know.
I haven't seen...
I need to go to the cinema. I need to watch French Dispatch and
I need to watch
Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife I really want to see.
Oh, yeah. And also... I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't watch that Beatles Get Back thing. Cause
I've got Disney Plus, I might lend you my login.
Oh,
I can make you a little profile on it.
I have a friend who already did that for me when he had it.
Oh.
You know, his profile was Mike and I was Sully.
Oh.
That was
funny. That's really rubbish.
Is it really rubbish? What would you make my profile image?
I'm going to do it.
Of all the Disney characters.
I'll make you one now, we'll do it now.
What Disney character avatar are you going to give me,
I'm going to give you a god-awful one. Actually, I'm not going to do it on the podcast. I'm going to do it afterwards. I'll pick a terrible one.
Oh, okay.
Should we wrap this up, Harry?
Yeah, how?
Say bye to everybody.
Bye-bye, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Doctor Who.
Happy birthday.
Make sure you subscribe to the official Bigger on the Inside podcast.